Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is Kat, known as phamerina.planning here on YouTube and on Instagram. And today's video is my March bullet journal setup um, using, I don't think I show it, but it's going to be using Saucy Stickers Co. March collection, which was called Bloom. At the beginning, I pulled out another notebook. So one of the nice things, I guess, about having a backlog of notebooks is that since the cover I'm not really like a huge fan of, I can use it kind of as a troubleshooting notebook. So I knew. So let me back up here. Sorry. So with my bullet journal, I have been trying to do more experimentation. Like previously, I was a fairly straightforward, this many spreads. This is the order of those monthly spreads. Sometimes I would, expand it, reduce it. But I never really tried crazy things. I liked Dutch doors, but I found that they kind of like bolt up my planner a lot. So I didn't really use a lot of Dutch doors. I didn't really use a lot of tip-ins, which is when you like tape something into a notebook. Um, I didn't really do a lot of quote unquote interactive elements. But for 2025, and with the incorporation of using stickers in my bullet journal, mostly because there are a lot of pretty stickers out there and I want to be able to use them. In this instance, Rebecca from Saucy Stickers said that she was not feeling inspired to be constrained to the format of a standard weekly kit, which is, uh, 1.5-inch wide boxes. You have your bottom washi, you have these boxes. So like I can venture a guess to say that it gets very formulaic after a while. You're like, okay, well, this is gonna go here. Here's a floral box. We're gonna do this layering here, yada yada yada. So I can understand how you could fall into like a creative slump with having to design and format so many weekly kits. Um, so this was this collection was one I knew I really wanted to use. The question was how, the question was when. And I've gotten off on a tangent already. But back to what's happening on the page was I've been wanting to try. um Actually, let me back up. I didn't want to try. I saw that these gold frames coordinated very well with the Saucy Stickers collection. So the frames are cut out in the middle, and I was like, so how do I utilize that to do something interesting, to do something fun? So, um, one thought was just, do cutouts where, you turn it looks one way, then you turn the page and it looks like something underneath. But I wanted to do something a little more um unique, I guess. So my next thought was, okay, well, how about we have that the a reveal, like a portrait with a reveal. So then I had to, figure out what mechanism was going to work, and like the pull tab was the mechanism that I landed on. So the pull tab works relatively easily once you like troubleshoot it, which is what I did with that other notebook. Is you basically have a slot in which your paper goes into. Um, there are a couple of ways to make it so that the paper stops where you want it to stop, um, in both directions. I did not utilize the sliding to the left direction as best as I could. Um, but basically, in order for me to make it stop in the left to right direction, you just make it so that the component is going to hit a large, the size, the width, the height, whatever you want to think of it, of the paper is larger than the hole that it slides into, the slot. Here right now, I'm making it so that the sticker doesn't stick on to my little flap here. Otherwise, I'm going to struggle every time I go into this mechanism. And on the other other side, the part that you actually pull, I saw this sign that I knew would layer gorgeously over something. So the something was this. So in order to create a section that was not going again to stick to the other sticker, I just, layered it on top of something and then just cut it out. And when doing this, you kind of have to be cognizant of where adhesive is going to be. So that's like the downside of using stickers. And here was there's a way, I just couldn't figure it out, to get the mechanism to stop sliding forward any more than it was. But I think it wouldn't work with how I wanted my flap to be. So I just gave up on it, and we'll figure it out next time we want to try this. So right now my mechanism slides left right. It stops when you're pulling it out, but it does not stop when you're pulling it in, so it won't stop in the correct position. Um, which I came to terms with, and I'm like, you know what, it's okay. We'll figure it out, right? So then in order to keep the mechanism in line, which I think I skipped over this part or I edited it out, um, I glued the papers down, or I'm about to do it. I can't remember. But I glued the top page down around I basically created a tunnel for this thing to go in and out of. Um, and the glue is or the tape runner technically, is what presses the papers down and creates basically like a tunnel for this to go in and out of. Um, and then since this part of the flap is visible when you pull it out, I figured you might as well do something interesting here so that when people, when you pull it out, you're looking at something, right? I could have just left it blank since it is going to probably be inside a vast majority of the time. Oh no, I didn't stick it down yet. So here, basically, I just ran my my tape runner around the sides, and that just basically adheres the page down so that it won't go anywhere else. And the mechanism isn't perfect; it's a little janky, but it will do. And then for the rest of my cover page, um, I just was playing around and creating some collages. I knew I wanted to pull in these Victorian frames from the Pretty Pink Co's advent calendar, and just do some interesting like weaving. I forget what someone mentioned it. Interlocking. That's what the word is. Because I've been like, I guess that's the thing, like having these kind of stickers interact with each other in interesting ways. Um, because like it's like how directors and actors make choices, right? So how I layer a sticker is a choice. um this is a really weird tangent, but right, that's what makes everybody's spread kind of unique, is what choices you choose to do with your layering, with your are you going to use color swatches, are you going to use foil, like, or are you not going to do any of those things? And that's what I really enjoy about this community, is how we can have um like you give three different people the same collection, and you'll probably see three very different spreads, which I find so, like, I don't know, beautiful, I guess is the word. So on to on to the next thing that's happening. This is my calendar page. My calendar page is just basically a kind of setting point, framing point, really. I don't really come back to it and fill it in other than with events, major things I want to think about. But it's not like I go back to this page and like backfill anything. It's kind of just for me to be able to, like, one, see what day of the week a specific date is. And then two, since I do fill this out before the month starts, I'll know which weeks are busy, which weeks aren't. When payday is, that's one of the more important ones, is when payday is. Um, and I've been, well, I think January I did it, February I skipped it, but I typically create a Dutch door with my monthly tasks on the other side, and on the inside flap is just a schedule, a babysitting schedule. That's what it is, in case you're curious. And I find that the Dutch door allows for me to keep that information a little more private, especially if I'm looking at my calendar. I don't, it's just not like out there. It's the same logic I have for my finances tracker. Like, I don't, necessarily need everybody to see my business, right? And since I'd like to do Dutch doors for these spreads, or these two spreads, I typically like to kind of do peekaboo moments, or just have the, like I said, the stickers interact in very interesting ways. So I put the large scene of the piano with the sun rays behind it. And looking at the stickers I did have, I was like, well, what could I put in front? Like, that would make sense, right? The boat wouldn't really make sense. But the gazebo, it kind of maybe could be like someone standing at the gazebo and they're looking out at the piano in the field, and I don't know, as if somebody's about to play it. These are like the thoughts that go on in my head when I'm making choices for what to put down. And I've been trying to bring a little bit of foil, a little bit more foil. Like, this isn't really a little bit, but a little bit more foil into my bullet journal, mostly because I have it and I should use it. That's the biggest reason why. And I I'm trying to get over the mental block of like things needing to be a story. Um like, do I need to have a swing up there? No. Does it make sense up there? Not necessarily. But does it look pretty? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's why it's going there. So that is the front of the calendar. On the back side, um there is this awkward shape from the cutout. So I'm sorry I'm cut off right now. But to fill in the awkward shape and just make it not look so weird, it still looks weird, but I just decided to go ahead and put some stickers down there. And then I really enjoy floral corners, especially big ones. I love big floral corners. They just take up a lot of space and they make a huge amount of impact with a little, like with a singular sticker. I really enjoy it. Um, and then just with Dutch doors, just a hint, constantly flip your Dutch doors back and forth. I made that mistake in February. But constantly flip them back and forth so you're seeing the perspective before the doors closed and after the doors closed. Because that's, is something critical hiding, being hidden. Is having the door closed, making something not make any sense. Um, does something look silly when the door is closed versus when it's not closed? So I did debate about filling that blank space over there, but in the end, I decided against it. Just leave it alone. Just let that negative space exist. So that's my calendar slash this month's spread. Onto my kind of social media dashboard, I guess we can call that. On one side is going to be one side. On the left side is going to be a calendar with spaces for Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. It's actually Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. That's the order. And then Monday through Friday get their own day, and then the weekend is usually together because I don't typically post like posts on the weekend. I might post a video or two. I might post a TikTok or two, but I don't usually post like Saturday and Sunday. I post one a day or the other usually. So that's why they usually can share a block. I'll do random posts in the middle middle of the week. So that's why. It's mostly so I can keep an eye on how much I'm posting if I'm slacking on a platform, which I know I am. I'm slacking on TikTok. I 100% know that. Um it's hard to find a community over there. It's a very different energy than Instagram and YouTube. Um So yeah, here's me numbering my sections, and then I'm trying to figure out how I want to number this, because since I use a Monday start calendar, this week is broken up into 4 full 7 days plus 2 days at the top and then one random day at the bottom. So I made the decision to push Monday the 31st off into the next month's social media dashboard thingy, and then just leave it there because it was going to be too complicated to, or a lot of, not complicated, a lot of empty space to fill in. And it just didn't make sense to just create one more row just for Monday. So that's why I left that there, which is not typically how I do these things. I like to keep the months together. So blanking out the unused days, the days that are not relevant to this month, and then I flipped right past my meal tracker. Usually, very little stickering goes on there. Maybe I throw some washi in there, but it's a very functional spread that I don't really decorate too much. So the next set of spreads I am working on right now are kind of, I call them my trackers. So on the left side is going to be a package tracker. Since I usually that one is usually, you're gonna see it later because I drew it in after I finished all of the stickering. Um, it's like a rectangular block with rows and columns. So I knew I had a large space at the bottom where I could just fill it up with stickers. Again, same concept, just looking at them, seeing what could create a scene if I wanted to do that. And then, like, I think I mentioned in a different video, I'm kind of like in my foiled quotes right now. I'm so happy for like that shops, specifically Paper Trail Plans is like the big one I can think of, and I know Dash of Sun is starting to do them. That they do foiled quotes because they're just a great way to create a focal point, without too much foil. Because like I said, I don't use too much foil in my bullet journal, but I do want to add splashes here and there. So that is the left side. The package tracker is going to get drawn in later. You'll see it. Then on the right side, yes. So right side is always reserved, has a Dutch door for my finances tracker underneath. Sometimes I will put habit trackers here on the front of the Dutch door. Other times I will put the habit trackers on with the package tracker. But since I think I knew I wanted to do a large scene at the bottom of that spread or that page for the package tracker, I decided to throw the habit trackers over onto the Dutch door. um and then I fell in love with this fashion person. I think she was my favorite one out of the ones that were on this kit. And I turn to my trackers page quite frequently. That's why I put her here. And I just think she's really pretty. Plus, she got a butterfly on her hand. Like, I wish that was me. I love butterflies. My favorite motif ever. So that's why I put her here. And then underneath, I'm going to create just some, like, a scene, right? A little background for her to be against, and then hiding some elements underneath. I'm gonna pull in one of these swans, put it down, realize its head's poking out, which you couldn't really see, but in the light you see it. Slide the swan down a little bit, and then I'm going to pull in the other set of swans that are on the in the collection, just so you can sort of see it. This one I was okay with it peeking out. I don't know, my brain works in weird and interesting ways. um so it's that was okay because I know this is a Dutch door. It just, I don't know. I just was okay with it, I guess. And then putting this butterfly down in a place that made the most sense in relation to the scene in front of it and behind it. So, like I said, constantly pulling your Dutch doors in. So back over to the other side. I have drawn in my package tracker, which has a column for the order date, the store, when it's anticipated to be delivered, when it gets shipped, what I purchase. So if it's like a collection, I'll just write that collection down. Or if it's part of a sale, I'll write that sale down. Obviously, I don't need to write every single thing down because I can always just go to the website, pull up my order, and see it there. But it's just a good idea to a good thing for me to see at a quick glance, like what I'm like if I'm if I'm sticker shopping, um, and I'm like, "Ooh, this would be a great spring kit." I look at my list of kits I have allotted for spring, and I'm like, "Oh, look, there's a blank spot that I haven't filled in yet." Then I go over to my package tracker. I'm like, "Oh, wait, that's because this kit's not here yet, and that kit's for spring." So like, it just reminds me what I have available or what's coming, because I'm trying really hard not to buy extra things since I have stuff in my collections. So that's my way of seeing how much I'm buying. um, that's the gist of it. So, on to the next spread. This is my memories spread. Basically, here I'll print photos with my zinc or my Canon IV zinc paper printer. They'll go in. I'll like handwrite specific. If there's not a picture, I'll just handwrite a little, title of what it is, the date the memory happened. And here I brought in the third fashion person. She's also stunning. She's just not my favorite girl, but she's cute. She has the Polaroid in the back. That's why I decided to allot her for this specific spread because it made the most sense, right? Polaroid, pictures, memories, like my brain was working. And then just creating I know for my memory spread, I do want to leave it pretty open. Um but I don't like having just one focal point with my stickers. I feel like I need to create two, and usually they're on opposite corners. So, if it's the lower right, then it's got to be the top left. If it's the lower left, then it's got to be the top right. Something about the diagonal is just pleasing, I guess, because the title of the spread usually goes right in the middle. So outside of these moments with the stickers, the spread stays pretty bare. To allow the memories to take center stage. So that's pretty much all of the pages that I do set up. We're gonna hit over to the oh wait, that's right. So this is the last minute change because originally I was just gonna write habits or finances, one of those two words. I was going to write those there originally, but then I changed my mind because I had one floral corner left and I felt really bad about leaving it. So I just decided, I know what my pages are. Are titles nice? Yeah, but are they necessary for me? No, because I've been bullet journaling since 2015. Like, I kind of know what spreads are what. Like, if I see a calendar, a square of calendars, that's my habit tracker. Packages pretty straightforward. I don't really need titles for all of these things. So I'm just throwing in some of the last of the stickers here. And now we're gonna hit the flip through. So here is my cover page with my fun little element, the pull out tab. This girl's also really pretty. All of the fashion people were so pretty for this spread. Like, uh she made such good choices for this one. Here is my monthly calendar with my this month underneath. Then skipping past my meal tracker. Oh no, sorry. First is my social media dashboard. Um, and then over to my meal tracker, which is very plain right now, and it might have some washi tape on there. Who knows? My trackers spreads with the Dutch door for my finances tracker. Um, and then followed by my memory spread. So that is the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please if you did like the video, please leave the video a like, leave a comment with any of your thoughts down below, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.